Howdy folks, Argsy here. Now that is not something you see every day. Helicopter coming and dropping down into one of your fields and, well, coming actually with a bit of a proposition. I'm not going to name names or anything like that, but he is a rather wealthy lodge owner and he's looking to expand into the area. Now, it just so happened he caught some of our videos and saw the fishing we had a couple of episodes ago when we were over in the river. I was pretty impressed actually with the catches we were getting and the number of fish that were around. But he's also picked up on how much wildlife there is, the deer that are in and out of the trees around the fringes of the field, and just looking around at how much trees, forest, bush and scrub and things like that there is around here. So he thought he'd ask us about potentially building a hunting lodge, setting up here and making it accessible to some pretty wealthy people. So we haven't talked exact details yet, but he's offered to give us a $20,000 down payment and possibly then from then on a monthly lease. Any work being done, it would be all at their expense. They'd build the lodge, all they're looking for is a ground lease, and this bit of land in here was going to be perfect for them. Pretty close access here to the river. We've got the forest, the trees and everything up in there behind. We own the bit of land over the road as well, just on the other side up here, so they'd be able to go over into that and potentially look to get access in of some of the other properties around here. So, well, it's something to consider. I mean, 20 grand's 20 grand, but it is, well, it would be, I don't know exactly the details, but I expect it would be a very, very long-term lease on this bit of land. So we'd basically be ruling out doing anything here, and we'd obviously then have to deal with having hunters, fishermen, whoever coming in here and going through the farm. That would be one of the requirements, is giving them access across our fields. So there's a decent amount of space around here that they can get in there and get down to the river. So I don't think it's going to be to the detriment of any of our crops, but worth considering. 20 grand would pay for those bins we went and looked at, pay for the bins plus the relocation plus pouring the new pads for them all. So that could solve a few of our problems, and if we had a monthly income from this, then that might cover some of our loan repayments too, or some of our uncle and aunt's loan repayments. I keep on talking like it's my farm, it's not. Anyhow, that's not what we're here for today. So we need to get back up to the yard. We are going to carry on with our planting. FBN haven't been able to make it here yet, so we are going to go. They have said they'll be here sometime today with the seed. I know it's going to rain. There's a lot of farmers around trying to get product in, trying to get things planted. We're just unfortunate that we're the ones who need to get hold of some more seed in such a hurry. I think most other farmers are all sorted, so they're not in quite as much of a panic as we are. But we'll go up. What we might do is see if they can actually deliver back out to the field, or at least we could take the pallet down here on the back of the pickup, then we can load up, and if they do deliver while we're out, we can come back down and grab one of the pallets again and put it on the back. Might have to consider possibly getting myself a gooseneck trailer or something like that, just to make things easier when this situation arises, particularly once we start getting into herbicide and that, so we don't have to run the sprayer back down or fertilizer or anything like that. It would be good to have some way to tow things, so I might do that. Might look at investing ourselves into a gooseneck trailer. Wish I'd brought the one down from Chilliwack we had. Anyhow, we're back here. We're going to go and get things all set up with the planter. I will put that bag of seed on the back of here so we can run that down to the field, and we'll head on over and make a start on the planting. We're just under half a pallet of seed here, and we've got a full planter, so hopefully that's going to be enough to get us through for a wee while. Now this is going to struggle to fit there over the wheel arches, isn't it? Fits in between, but I don't know how well it's going to sit when we put it down in here. Might just have to hope. There we go, it did just drop a little bit. Hopefully it didn't damage anything, but fingers crossed that's just going to sit in there. So we'll leave this here just in case FBN do turn up. They'll be able to get in here and unload. I'll be able to do that for us and leave it here in the shed, and we're going to go over and make a start on the soybeans. I think we're going to head to the field to the down in that direction, not the one by the train tracks. We'll go down and do that one last, so we'll head on down this way. The one by the train tracks is a bit closer to the town to where the FBN is set up, so we won't have to worry quite so much, or they won't have to travel quite so far to get the delivery to us. They might be able to throw it on and do it on the way past. Anyhow, get that strapped down, get the tailgate put up, and we'll head on down to the field, come back and grab the tractor, and then we'll get into it. So here we are down at the field. Now I did have a chat to the owner of this land, and they're quite happy with us coming in and out of this access all the time. It wasn't really too much of a concern for them. Their plans have kind of stalled. I don't know whether they've got caught up with some of the financial issues that are going around at the moment, but they were going to build a house. It was just going to be a house down there, but at the moment plans are on the back burner. So hopefully for them, good luck to them. I hope they manage to get that sorted out and get things started sometime soon, because like we said before, it is a beautiful looking spot. Uncle helped us bring the pickup down. He hasn't been feeling the best this year. I'm not sure what it is, but he's kind of been laying low, leaving us to do a lot of the work so far. So I'm sure come harvest time, and if we need a hand, and just like we have today with the pickup, he will come out and give us a hand when he can. But let's get this all powered up. In fact, let's jump out here. Yep, should have checked that beforehand. Hydraulic hoses, not the best, but looked like they were up off the ground, so we didn't drag them along the road. But everything else, just do it once over and check the planter. I mean, we only finished planting the other field earlier, so it looks all pretty good to me. Starting to get a bit dirty, but we've got some acres to put on it. And speaking of acres, I'm just going to take a quick look here. Now, actually, if we hop up in the tractor, you can see down on the speedo, we've got a 11.0 acres is what the tractor has calculated we planted. That's the little meter, and it's actually worked out pretty accurately. So I went around on all our new fields, and using the draw custom field option down the bottom there, I created some custom fields. And if we have a look there, this one here, on my rough estimate, I haven't been perfectly accurate, 10.97 acres. Moving up from what was 5.36 acres. So that field, we've just more than doubled. So a little bit more than that. If we come down here, it's field 121, which is the one we are planting today. Started off at 10.6 acres. Now up to 12.7, so we've added 2.1 acres onto that, so that's almost a 20% increase. Of course, 20% would be, well, it's more than 20%. 20% would be 2.12, so we have put more than 20% on that. And then if we come down to this one as well, 93 was 10.6, so 93 and 121 are pretty much exactly the same. But this one's gone to 15.8, so we've added almost 50%. Just over 5.25 acres, which is pretty much half of this again. So a 50% increase in field area down on this field. So we have managed to make some very substantial gains in the amount of land we're farming, which is going to bode very, very well come harvest time for how much crop we might make. And I think some of my estimates might actually be a bit low, which could suggest we're going to need some bigger bins. Anyhow, let's get that turned on and get the seeder lowered down, get the row marker put out, and we are going to get started on some planting here. Be nice if we can get through both these fields of soybeans. We are reliant on FBN getting in here and delivering the extra seed we need, but we do have enough to get a decent way through this field. Like I said, if we have to run back up to the farm and go pick up another pallet, we will do that. But anyhow, let's carry on. We'll jump into a little bit of a time lapse here, and we'll see you when we're a bit further through. Well, by my guess, that puts us 6.2 acres into this field out of 12.6 I think I said the adjusted amount was, which means we're about halfway through, which is good. We've used up all the seed though, so we are going to have to head back down to the yard and see if we've got any more there. If not, we're just going to have to make a dash into town and see if we can pick up a pallet or two from one of the shops. I know there's a store just down the road from us actually. Just about see it from here, can't you? About here. Just down there behind the trees, behind the power poles, and big power pylons. That's the main shop. So we could pop down there, but let's go and see. FBN are delivering, so we will go and have a look and see if they have managed to get some dropped off for us. If they have, we'll bring one pallet up here now on the back of the pickup, and then we'll worry about getting the rest down for the other field when we get over there. Let's take a look and see. I'm just trying to make out. Oh, it does look like we've got some seed there. The skid steer's been put back in the shed, so it does indeed look like we've had our delivery. So we'll just get this parked around. The tailgate opened. I don't going to bother shutting it down. We're only here for the briefest of time. Now I wondered actually, if we try and pick the pallet up from the side and put it in that way, we might get it to fit in between the wheel arches. This one being a bit fuller, I do just want to be quite careful of that. So we might give that a bit of a try. We've got the forks. Yeah, they look like they'll be narrow enough. We can adjust them if we need to. So let's give that a try. We've got them picked up alright. Let's just have a look and see if they're going to fit in between the wheel arches just a little bit better than the way we put the last one in. Better if we were a little bit more centered. Black on black makes it very, very hard to see, but just trying to figure out. That looks like much better job. Are they going to go down in between? Perfect. Here we go. Much, much better than it was last time. Right. Well, that should be enough to keep us going for at least the field we're in. Once we've done that, we'll come back up and grab some more. Probably, I think we're going to need both pallets. Well, definitely, we've used, what, 3/4 of a pallet on the field we're in at the moment, and it's not as big as the one we're going to next, so just strap across there, and we'll head on back down, carry on planting. That's us back, and that is the seeder full, so let's just plough on, carry on with the planting. We'll head on over this way where we'd got to. Got a few little bits and pieces just to finish off in here, a few smaller runs, and then this should work out quite well. Similar to how we cultivated this field across on this big long angles, gives us some decent long runs rather than having to get in and out of too many of these small bits. So this should work pretty well, and we'll be able to use a similar sort of angle when it comes to planting time. We get that turned on, lower it down, and that should be good to go. Now it's interesting looking at the ground textures depending on what I was planting into is what ground texture we got. I noticed that in the first field we planted, so it just gives it a bit of a funky sort of look to start off with, but I'm hoping once we've got everything harvested, once the soybeans have all grown and we've gone through that cycle, the ground should even itself out and we end up without any more issues. We'll just get that row marker down. We probably don't need them too much on these shorter passes, but it is nice to use, nice to have that around the edge, nice to give us a line to work to. So we'll just carry on, get this field done, and then we'll be off down to the next one. with that, we are 2 down and 1 to go on the soybeans. We managed to take all of that pallet that was on the back of the pickup, so we are full of seed, well as full of seed as we can be in here. It does mean we're not just going to take a parts pallet down to the next field. We can take the pickup back down to the yard and go and top up with another pallet. But just looking at the area, 23.7 acres total we've planted now of soybeans, which means this field was 12.7 there or thereabouts, and I think, did I say 12.61? 12.72 is how I measured it by clicking around the outside, and we've pretty much planted 12.7 acres. So everything's pretty much worked out perfect there for us. Should have given way to that car though, but we got out just in time. So let's carry on down. We'll head on down to the field. We probably should top up before we start on the headlands, because as we saw in this field, we need quite a bit of seed to get around the headland passes. So we'll get everything done, we'll get another pallet of seed down to the field, and we will carry on with the planting, get all these soybeans done before we move on to corn next. So here we are, the very last field of soybeans we have to plant, which is fantastic. So let's get things turned on, lowered down, get that row marker out and get into it. But yeah, pretty excited to be seeing the back of the soybeans, or not the back of them, but just pretty excited in all honesty to have some crops getting into the ground, and the first part of the next step in the farm, which is to really see how well we're going to do in the future. So make a record, we were 23.7, we've just ticked over to 23.8 acres, so we should, by the time we finish this, what did I say, this was about 15.6 acres or something in here now, so it's at 38, 39, just under 40 acres of soybeans all up once we're finished. So compare that to what we had when we first came onto the farm. That is, it's not quite double, but it's pretty darn close, so things are looking good for us. Anyhow, let's carry on, let's just crack into this field and see how we go. We've got the 1 pallet of seed down here. I don't think that's going to be enough, but it will be a good start. So we'll carry on and catch up with you in just a little while. Oh no, what was that? Oh, that did not sound good. Please don't tell me we've broken something. That sounded... Oh, I don't know what that sounded like. Right, we better jump out and go and see what's happened here. Alright, let's go and have a look. Hang on. Oh, you cannot be serious. Everything was going so well. We've made a good fist of this field already. We've got through the headlands. We're into the up and down roads, but oh goodness me. That's a pretty big crack in there. That's I don't know if we're going to be able to get that fixed. Well, we'll have to get it back over to the yard and go and take a look at it, pull a few of these row units off and see if we can get in there properly. We might have to get someone else to take a look at this. This is probably a little bit past us, so I think that's going to be the end of it for today. I hope we can get it fixed. We've got about half of this field done. Definitely well through the headlands and into the proper rows. But it's not just the soybeans, we've got all our corn to plant yet, so fingers crossed we can get this back over to the yard and get it sorted out, because if we can't, I have no idea what we're going to do. So, hope you've enjoyed today's episode. Thank you all very much for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one.